The ceiling fan spins a slow circle in the amber light, tracing shadows over cracked leather and chipped porcelain. The heavy velvet voice drips like molasses from the corner, vibrating through the floorboards, through the soles of my shoes. He carries the weight of 1,000 Sundays in his throat, telling truths about the dust and the distance between us. I stir a silver spoon until the steam clouds my vision, listening to the rapper and the honey in his low register. Take me back to the decade of the faded photograph, where the brass is tarnished and the souls are bare. The deep tide rising from a chest made of iron and oak, drowning out the ticking clock on the checkered wall. It is a sound that knows the bottom of a lonely well, pulling every heart in the room down to the water. Yes, the vibration stays long after the note has died in this house of caffeine and ancient gold. Streaked with the grease of a city evening, people passing by like ghosts in the high-waisted denim, but inside the air is thick with a different kind of time. He is leaning into the microphone like it is an old friend, sharing secrets about the highway and the morning rain. There is no polished shimmer, only the raw grain of the spirit. He holds a low C until the windows begin to rattle, sugar in the bowl dances to his sorrow. Take me back to the decade of the faded photograph, where the brass is tarnished and the souls are bare. A deep tide rising from a chest made of iron and oak, drowning out the ticking clock on the checkered wall. It is a sound that knows the bottom of a lonely well, pulling every heart in the room down through the water. Yes, the vibration stays long after the note has died in this house of caffeine and ancient gold. A deep tide rising from a chest made of iron and oak, drowning out the ticking clock on the checkered wall. It is a sound that knows the bottom of a lonely well, pulling every heart in the room down to the water. Yes, the vibration stays long after the note has died in this house of caffeine and ancient gold. The steam rises from a porcelain rim, the slow vibration starts to sink in. Golden slats of light across the wooden floor, while time keeps leaning on the heavy swing door. Antique brasses reflecting the street, where the midday calm and the shadows meet. That low frequency begins to slide, a velvet texture with nowhere to hide. Gravel in the throat of a singer from the past, making every syllable feel like the last. A vintage tape hiss buried in the sound, tracing lazy circles on the hallowed ground. The percolator hums a steady drone. The copper kettle sings an undertone. Everything is moving at a different pace within this narrow and secluded space. Bossa chords drifting through a hazy room, dispelling the weight of an afternoon gloom. A baritone anchor in a sea of soft keys, floating along on a tropical breeze. Rough around the edges, but steady and deep. A promise the city is trying to keep. Melodies woven in a smoke-stained coat, the weight of a world in a single blue note. No rush for the exit, no race for the prize, just a steady composure in those weary eyes. 84 summers found inside a song, where the midnight and the roaring belong. The percolator hums a steady drone. The copper kettle sings an undertone. Everything is moving at a different pace within this narrow and secluded space. Bossa chords drifting through a hazy room, dispelling the weight of an afternoon gloom. A baritone anchor in a sea of soft keys, floating along on a tropical breeze. Rough around the edges, but steady and deep. A promise the city is trying to keep. Ceiling fan spins like a tired clock. Count the bees on a cold porcelain cup. Brown sugar melting in a dark mahogany swirl, while the street lights start to wake the sleeping world. The heavy velvet curtain hides the silver rain, and the saxophone is breathing through a window pane. A dusty needle finds its way across the groove, finding a secret that the city cannot move. Its sandpaper throat is rasping smooth and low, like a slow tide pulling where the deep things go. There is a copper glow upon the kitchen wall, waiting for the evening shadows to stand tall. The steam rises up to meet the yellow lamp, where the floorboards are cold and the morning is damp. Sit in a corner where the silence grows wings, listening to the hum that the old cedar sings. Take another sip and let the bitterness fade. In the amber sun and the violet shade. Strings are vibrating through the floor. Someone is leaning on a chipped wooden door. The scent of roasted beans is heavy in the air, catching the dust motes dancing on a chair. No one is talking and nobody needs to leave, with a melody pinned upon a raincoat sleeve. The clock on the counter is a quarter behind, just the way the architect of Ghost designed. There is a story in the way the smoke curls high underneath the charcoal bucket of a sky. Wrap your coat around the feeling of the day and watch the colors of the gravel turn to gray. Are cold and the morning is damp. Sit in the corner where the silence grows swings, listening to the hum that the old cedar sings. Take another sip and let the bitterness fade in the amber sun and the violet shade.
The porcelain rests upon the polished oak as shadows dance within the velvet smoke. A vintage needle finds a spinning groove to tell a tale that doesn't need to move. The sepia noon begins to fade away beneath the weight of what we cannot say. A gentle warmth provides the only light to bridge the gap between the day and night. She sings of shores where southern breezes blow in octaves only midnight voices know. No frantic speech to break the steady glide, just silver tides that pull the soul inside. Listen to the lady with the golden tone. She makes a crowded room feel all alone. From cellar deep to heaven's light and thin, she traces where the melody has been. Not a single word is out of place in the sanctuary of unhurried grace. Seasons outside lose their self-control. She climbs a scale and drops into a sigh, like like summer clouds that drift across the sky. The bitterness of beans and sugar sweet, where weary hearts and quiet legends meet. The piano plays a sophisticated chord, a gentle piece is its own rich reward. No rhythmic chants or jagged lines to trace, just elegance that fills the hollow space. Listen to the lady with the golden tone. She makes a crowded room feel all alone. From cellar deep to heaven's light and thin, she traces where the melody has been. Not a single word is out of place in this sanctuary of unheavy grace. Listen to the lady with the golden tongue. She makes a crowded room feel all alone. From cellar deep to heaven's light and thin, she traces where the melody has been. Not a single word is out of place in the sanctuary of unhurried grace. Listen to the lady with the golden tone. Steam rises from a ceramic rim. The sunlight leans against the floor. A certain quiet settles in beneath the hinges of the door. Dust dances in a single ray. The clocks are heavy on the shelf. I have nothing left to say except the things I tell myself. The nylon strings begin to bend, moving slow like afternoon, waiting for the day to end beneath a paper white moon. The sugar dissolves into the black, just another ghost in the room. There is no road that takes us back through the heavy scent of bloom. It is a simple kind of grace to let the shadows have their part in this small and hollow place where the silence meets the heart. A yellow book lies half unbound, with pages curled like autumn leaves. The only breath is in the sound of what the velvet neck retrieves. Old melodies from decades past, when the nights were brushed with gold. Nothing here was meant to last, except the stories never told. The nylon strings begin to bend, moving slow like afternoon, waiting for the day to end beneath a paper white moon. The sugar dissolves into the black, just another ghost in the room. There is no road that takes us back through heavy scent of bloom. It is a simple
The steam drifts up against the window pane while the needle finds a groove inside the rain. You take your seat across the velvet floor with a story that has never quite been told.
My coffee cools while I watch the silver lake catch the edges of a slow and amber night. Your eyes are deep as an ocean in the haze, and I'm lost within the silence of your gaze.
I'm looking for the words I cannot find in the corners of a tired and dusty mind, but the melody is swaying in the air, and I see a certain meaning standing there. Every shadow has a softness in its tone. When I realize I am no longer alone, we are moving to a tempo made of gold, tracing patterns that the ancient stars foretold. The saxophone is heavy with the past, but this moment is the one I want to last. You climb the scale like a bird upon the wing, to the peak of every secret song you sing.
Then you drop into a valley rich and dark, where the embers of a long forgotten spark.
Along the hollow of a weary evening, chilled by a promise that has finally been fulfilled.
I am looking for the words I cannot find in the corners of a tired and dusty mind, but the melody is swaying is the air, and I see a sudden meaning standing there. Every shadow has a softness in its tone. When I realize I am no longer alone, we are moving to a tempo made of gold, tracing patterns that the ancient stars foretold.
Looking for the words I cannot sign in the corners of the tired and dusty mind, but the melody is swaying in the air, and I see a sudden meaning standing there. Every shadow has a softness in its tone. When I realize I am no longer alone, we are moving to a tempo made of gold, tracing patterns that the ancient stars foretold. Looking for the words I cannot find in the corners of the tired and dusty mind, but the melody is swaying in the air, and I see a sudden meaning standing there. Of a shadow has a softness in its tone. When I realize I am no longer alone, we are moving to a tempo made of gold, tracing patterns that the ancient stars foretold.